Good evening. Happy full moon. Happy full moon. What a day it has been on this 25th day of the month on the Gregorian calendar. But I'm coming to you on the lunar solar calendar. It is a full moon. What a glorious evening. I'm coming to you from a concurrent jurisdiction as an original indigenous peoples societis jurisdiction and also an Article 3 Court of the United States of America jurisdiction. All rise and stand and remain standing. This is an original indigenous peoples societis and also concurrent jurisdiction, Article 3 Court. An aboriginal indigenous people action on the land of Nacotchtank, also known as Anacostan. This is corporate Alexandria, Virginia. We are firmly on the land and subsoil soil jurisdiction of our ancestral lands. I am here with dominion over trust, over contract, and over the law of the land. My appellation is kei'yah. I exercise my original indigenous rights at this time peacefully. I claim my rights and I restore our customs of truth, peace on our lands, which are the estates and the corporate states are and do depend. I come as an ambassador and to protect the land and the people of the land. Kei'yah, Kei'yah, the full appellation, Kenya, Louise, Love Ma'at Yashabala, Angel. This is a memorandum of trust dated the 25th of March, 2024. Original Indigenous Peoples Societies Jurisdiction at Amaroq, United States of America, Tamari. Memorandum of Trust. The name of the trust is Aboriginal Indigenous Peoples Societies, United States of North America. Jubilee, dated the 25th of March, 2024. I will pause now here just to explain this court action before I actually put up the paperwork where you can see for yourself what it is that I wrote. Had to handwrite. A little bit of computer problems today. So on yesterday, during one of the study sessions that I attend, it came to my knowledge that from the Moorish American Consul General Lamont Maurice L. was arrested. The details I did not know, but some details in that it was a warrant that had a lot of inconsistencies in it. He was deprived of due process. The warrant was not presented in a proper way as far as being in writing. He was in town to mourn a loved one, and it was just not a really good situation. So that night, Grand Sheik Taj Tariq Bey was kind enough to go over with us the civil orders from 2014. Also, we read Traficant's speech on the bankruptcy of the United States. So it's in that context that we understand that those who have been acting as defiant trustees to the estates here are carrying out behaviors that indicate that maybe they're in a state of fear or denial. I cannot say, I do not read people's minds. However, they are out of compliance. Now, I took it personal that as a woman indigenous to this land at the United States, or I should say at America, at North America, I took it personal that it's my responsibility to do all I can to set the record straight. And I will remind you that on the 30th of this month, it will be the 1 year anniversary to the repudiation of the doctrine of discovery. Thank you, Pope Francis. And with that said, it would be appropriate that the heiresses of the land all over the world, particularly those who in a position at the United States of America, Major / is Amarak / Tamari Turtle Island, many affectionate names that we have for the land here. So it's our responsibility to stand up and support our sons who have been teaching us, and also to take advantage of this energy that's here, one of peace, one of truth is coming in. And also there are sisters who are demonstrating some of the principles in law that we have not been made aware of. And so this culmination of events really has ushered in this opportunity during the awakening. So today I attended an in-camera court hearing for Lamont Maurice Ill. Now, immediately once he was able to come onto the screen, he called out for help from the widow. So I was there, I stood, and I informed the magistrate to stand with me as I wanted to. Well, I shouldn't say I wanted to. I informed him of the Article 3 and original indigenous jurisdiction. Now, instead of really working with me and hearing what it was that I was going to finish saying, I was interrupted and he left the courtroom. I think my error is that I did not say it 3 times that he left the courtroom, and that it was appropriate to, I did say that it was appropriate to, I wanted the charges dropped. I demanded the charges be dropped, but I did not say it 3 times, and I didn't say it really, really loud over him telling me to leave. So I left. I stated I was leaving under threat and duress. The sheriff said, I'm not threatening you. And so I said, well, if I don't leave, then what will happen? He said he would have me arrested for trespassing. So to me, when I said it at first, it was more so his body language, but he did give me the verbal understanding that I was leaving under threat of arrest for trespassing on my own land. The problem is that on my land is the court system that is a fictitious one. And so it's important now that we give the bankers, we give the magistrates, we give our politicians the information that they need to know on how to navigate in this once in a lifetime period that we're in. Now, I'm more and more convinced that there will be some who will be able to move into this and bring order back with us under our instruction, under the destruction of other empresses and other jurisdictions that are sovereign. But there are some whose ego will not allow them to be in a position of helps. So this will all work it out as we're learning how to communicate honestly. There are those who are adept in law, who are adept in the religious sciences, and when you say certain things, we already know what you mean by them as it relates to codes and symbols and signs. I'm not in any order, but I've been learning. So, and I'm very thankful for the ones who've been teaching me, right? But with this said, we're starting to speak more truth and realizing that there are others who are waking up to the truth and want to be fed like with a baby spoon. And that's okay at first, right? Because it's a lot to learn. So now back to my trust. The trust is a memorandum, and the name of the trustee, the name of the, well, excuse me for a second. Let me go back a little bit. The name of the trust, the Aboriginal Indigenous Peoples Societies, United States of North America, Jubilee, dated 25th of March, 2024. The creator, kei'yah, Louise Love Ma'at Yasharala Angel. The grantor, the original indigenous people to the land known as the United States of North America by way of the 14th Amendment citizen person labeled African American and Black, and the Social Security person by way of that as the grantor. The trustee, the acting bar magistrate from their private foreign corporate jurisdiction. The trustees will remain the acting bar magistrate from their private foreign corporate jurisdiction. The beneficiary and equity ancestral estates of the organic heirs and individuals on which the estates and states depend. Trust res, the trust res, the states of the ancestral heirs upon which the states depend. The purpose to transfer trust res from the public to the private. Now, what I'm saying is this. This is the trust. This must happen. But I am not prescribing that it happen all at one time. I am a woman of order. I am a woman of peace. And I work with people who are experts at what they do in general. Now, this transfer has not really been the same. I understand there's a lot of tradition, there's a lot of religion, a lot of habit that goes along with, and a lot of soul ties that goes along with this shift in what's happening here in North America. All right. So actuaries, right? People with PhDs in economics. We need people with this skill set to be able to know how to transfer, how to allow the pendulum to swing back toward the people without being short of what we need as relates to food and things like that. Many of us don't live on a farm, so we're not prepared with all the things that we need to survive. So we're prepared. We are, how can I say, we are in a position where we would rely on the steady flow of a currency. Therefore, we will be able to acquire what we need. So imagine some already in fragile health conditions, being in a position where they're not getting what they need. That's not a good thing to me. Okay. Now, the purpose of the trust, I already read that, to transfer the trust rest from the public to the private. Next is my averment of jurisdiction and writ quo warranto. As I said earlier, this is a concurrent jurisdiction. So without Morocco, without the United States of America, and so I'll explain. So the original indigenous jurisdictions, before 1492, there was not the organized religions that we have now. And culture is very important. So I would want to unite with a people who have the same understanding about culture and will not demean the culture, because just because we're all the same skin tones doesn't mean that we all have the same energy and same culture and what have you. So that's the averment of jurisdiction. The writ quo warranto in the Declaration of Independence, the wild savages were noticed, right? So my hypothesis is the wild savages were my people. So now, where does that leave me? I stand over all the Alonjas here in North America. Okay. Stare decisis law. A court cannot confer jurisdiction where none existed and cannot make a void proceeding valid. It is clear and well established in law that a void order cannot be challenged in any court. See Wayne Mutual Loan and Savings, Loan and Association versus McDowell 204 US 821 CT 326 1976. For the record, I am spirit, body, soul, people. Not coming to you as a person, people coming by way of person, kei'yah, for I have no name, only the Most High knows my name. Okay. I'm a natural woman, sui juris in full life and appropriate persona. I come on my own God-given right, which is protected by the Treaty of Marrakesh, 1786 and 1836, better known as the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. My status is aboriginal and indigenous to the land known as Amarak, United States of America Major. I am an indigenous people. My matriarchal lineage goes back to the lands near Corporate Rome, Georgia, and come by way of being a national and a non-citizen at North America, Amarak, Sumerian. Now, this is what I read until I couldn't really read anymore, but this is appropriate to have read. I am challenging your jurisdiction on the grounds of a lack of jurisdiction and fraud. I mandate a full discovery of all the charging documents, that jurisdiction and venue. I invoke consular jurisdiction, natural, divine, unsecured treaty rights. By law, Article 4, a signal or pass shall be given to all vessels belonging to both parties by which they are known. When they cannot be there, when they are dead at sea, shall have other ships under the convey declaration of command shall alone be sufficient to exempt any of them from examination. Article 13 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, also known as the Treaty of Marrakesh. Article 3 of the ship, either party shall put into part of the other and salute and shall be returned from the, I apologize, with the equal number of guns, not with more or less. I will go back and read Article 13 in a moment. Article 20. If any of the citizens of the United States or any persons under the protection have disputes with each other, the consul shall decide between the parties and whether the consul shall require any aid or assistance from other government to enforce the decisions. It shall be immediately granted to him. Article 22. As soon as the consul shall decide the validity thereof. And the point to Article 22 and bringing this forth is that it is the will of the consul. Consuls are sovereigns. They're a sovereign. And that is why when I stood up, the magistrate immediately left, because there can only be one of us there at a time. Article 24. If any differences shall arise by either party infringing on the articles of this treaty, peace and harmony shall remain, notwithstanding, and in full force until the friendly application shall be made and arranged. So let me point something out that stood out for me with Article 24. So as many of the original indigenous women to the land are targeted in one way or another, anything from just mild targeting in the street. When I say the street, I mean in public, to having your home be invaded, have things be stolen from your home, have your reputation tarnished, all these types of things. There might be an opportunity to, I would say, apply Article 24, because Article 24 is addressing the Patriot Act, really. I mean, it might not have been what was intended at the time, but it is appropriate to know what happens to people who accept the corporate citizenship, and then those who don't, those who live more in line with their birthright until they figure out how to crack the code all the way. Okay. Article 24. That was that. And the second part of it, a state cannot refuse to give foreign nationals their treaty rights because of the fear that it will not possibly work out to their liking. This is under Supremacy Clause of the United States Constitution, Article 6, Clause 2. State policies must give way to overriding federal treaties and conflicting agreements. The writ quo warranto, you are hereby commanded to produce the following for the record as conclusive proof of evidence of your lawful jurisdiction and authorization. You are to produce a certified copy of the delegation of authority order from Congress. You are to produce the certified truth test copy in your commercial dealings. Two things going on. One, I'm sleepy. Two, I'm being hit with EMFs. So that's a real thing. You can go to Targeted Justice to learn about that. In fact, let me put that on my banner. Okay. Produce a certified true test copy of any alleged valid and verifiable contract or commercial agreement between the representative of the foreign corporation, Unity, Alexandria Administrative Court, and the Consul General, Lamont, Maurice L., which would subject him to any performance. Mind you, this is a jurisdictional matter. Or to any corporate color of law, statute, code, rule, regulation, custom of the private foreign corporate entity, Alexandria Administrative Court, or any parent or subsidiary agency. You are to produce a certified copy of an allodial written accusation that is signed under penalty of perjury against the Consul General. It must be signed by an identifiable, liable person claiming to be the plaintiff and the accuser, and it must include their social security number. So the next part is their codes here. Hopefully they will be helpful to you. US 737, 751. They're both from 1984. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to read the second half of this writ for warranto so that I can give it the justice that it deserves. Okay? So you've heard my presentation of the trust. It takes a trust to break a trust, right? And my presentation as it relates to the averment of jurisdiction and the concurrent jurisdiction of the state and the indigenous peoples. So I will complete this. I will finish it. And thank you for delighting in this time with me as we are delighting with what is happening today. And we are knowing that this is coming near the end of turmoil and strife. This is not coming from a state of opponent or what have you. It's coming from peace. It's coming from peace and love. So I will come back and I will finish this. I will share the judgment with you and we'll go from there.